Hello again from Simply Sourdough, and really I named that because really sourdough is super simple, and that's because all starter is flour and water and a jar. So we're gonna I'm gonna make a starter from scratch, and I'm gonna bring you guys along with me, and we're gonna see what we do every day. So basically you need flour, and I use bread flour. Any kind of bread flour will be fine. You can use King Arthur if that's your budget, or if it's on sale. You can use the Safeway brand flour. I use that often. And then I also use the Costco flour. And then filtered water. Filtered water is a must. You don't want to use your tap water. Tap water has a bunch of stuff in there that I don't even know what's in there. I don't drink it, and I don't want to put it in my starter. And the other thing is because some of those chemicals can produce poor results in your starter. So do yourself a favor and use filtered water, because you don't need much of it. Even if you have to buy it at the store, it's okay. You're gonna need a wooden spoon and then a spatula. Because we're doing a brand new starter and we're using a small jar this time, I'm gonna use small spatula. And I'm actually gonna use the end of this because it's clean. Because this is too big, and I like to have this see how that fits in there really well. I just am really big on functionality and doing what works. So and you also need a rubber band. So we're gonna need a rubber band to put on our jar. Very important, so we can see our progress. So just get a good color rubber band. Pink is my favorite color, so I'm gonna use pink. So what we're gonna do today is, this is a half of a cup, so we're gonna do ratio of 1 to 1. So we're gonna do a half a cup of flour, and just grab some flour, throw it in your jar, and we're gonna do a half cup of water. And we're gonna stir this baby up, because that's what you do. Take the end of my wooden spoon, and I'm gonna just stir it up. Give it a nice stir, 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 stir. So we're just establishing a starter. It's gonna take time. So, you know, my first starter that I made a year ago, it took a really solid 2 weeks for me to see any real movement on the doubling and the making it bigger. See, this starter, sometimes your flour and water ratio is a little funky. This is a little runny. Personally, for me, I think that knowing what I know now, I'm gonna put a little more flour in here because I want it to be a little thicker, just to work a little better. So don't be afraid to just do things and experiment. Literally, that's all this is. It's one big giant science experiment. And so you may dig it and you may not, but I dig it. I think it's awesome. I love science, and science experiments are fun. So anyways, it's a little thicker. I like the thicker consistency. See how it's a little thicker? And so we can let it sit. So the point is, you do this every day. You watch your starter daily. Every day you're gonna look at your starter, see what it did, put that in the sink. We're gonna clean our jar. Cleaning the jar is really important, like I said earlier. Always wanna clean your jar so you can see your movement and what your starter's doing. So I'm gonna go through and really just scrape down my sides, see where I'm starting. And so we're gonna do our jar, clean it. We're gonna watch our movement. So literally every day at the same time, and don't stress yourself out. It doesn't have to be the exact same time every day, but it does need to be every day around the same time. You're gonna want to play with your starter, and we're going to talk about that tomorrow, but this is how you get your starter started. So half a cup of flour, half a cup of water. You may want to put a little extra flour to make it a little thicker. Scrape your sides all down after it's all stirred up. And then you're done with that. And then you're gonna wanna place a lid on the top, or you can put one of these handy dandy things I have in here. I bought these on Amazon, of course. Who doesn't buy everything on Amazon nowadays? But they're little lid toppers. They come in a little pack. So this little lid topper is a perfect size. I've used it before. So you can stick that little lid topper. It allows a little airflow, but it doesn't allow things to get in your jar. And so that is perfect. So then you put on your rubber band right at the level where you did it. So eventually you're gonna start seeing your goal is to start seeing bubbles, and it's starting to digest the flour basically. And then it's starting to become active, but that can take a couple weeks. So we're gonna see what the starter does every day for the next couple weeks. And I'm gonna show you how to do the discard, the feeding, and what the progress is over time. So this is day 1. And we will say, with my handy dandy marker, I'm just gonna put day 1. And then tomorrow we'll take a look at it, see what it did. Good luck.